Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for watching Facebook Live. Tonight, we've got an exciting topic to talk about. Of course, Amy Schmitz is here with Fearlessly Facing 50, and we are celebrating the launch of her new book.
Yes.
Congratulations. Woohoo. Yes, I have my red Solo cup. Yeah.
Red Solo cup works too. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
The release of your book, Cannonball, Fearlessly Facing Midlife and Beyond, and some exciting news to start off with.
I know.
How Number one,
how crazy Amazon. Is that? I woke up to this text this morning from a couple of people, and I'm like, what? Because I'm actually in Wisconsin, all those Wisconsin people out there right now, and a lot of my friends are on the East Coast time, and it was like 5 a.m. I was getting some things. I can't believe it. I'm so grateful. Yeah, really excited.
I want to show you. We've already got some people congratulating you. A congrats from Nero.
I love it.
We've got a congrats from Marnie.
All right. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
Congrats, Amy, from Melissa.
Oh, wow.
And a big congrats. They're all coming in here. We've got Joelle. We've got Tara. Not surprising. You rock. Well deserved. Donna. We could go on, and we want to make sure that you guys are participating with us in the party, the celebration today with Amy and all of her friends. And I want to go ahead and just bring in a few of them right now, just so everyone can see we're having a party today to celebrate. Hello, everybody. Hello.
It is a party.
Yeah, exactly. And there's certainly more. Hello.
Oh my gosh.
We are so excited to be participating in the festivities today. And this is super exciting. Of course, your husband, Tim, is right there. So.
There he is.
So we are certainly excited to be celebrating this with you today. And so as the host, I do want to ask you a few questions before we get into the celebrations with the rest of your family and friends who are celebrating with you, and keep engaging with us. We've got a lot of people watching right now. So we've got Ellen. Congratulations to my awesome sister. You did it. How sweet. Okay. So I know that this book, obviously, Amazon right now, it is hot and ready for everyone to purchase. So make sure you do. And if you're watching right now, we're going to go ahead and share the link so you know exactly where to purchase right here, Amazon, Cannonball, Fearlessly Facing Midlife and Beyond. And so I encourage you to get it, because I was hearing that you may, it's a bestseller, so you may want to get it as soon as possible.
Yeah, really. I can't, it's crazy. And everybody said, Cannonball, Aim. Wow. And my brother, who's going to be on later, I have to call him out a little bit. He was one of the first people to see the cover. And I got a text from him that was like, wow, Aim, that's bold. So he's 10 years older than me. So I'm like, hey, at 60, you can do this too, Dave. So anyway, I thought the cover, that's definitely me. Jumping off the side. So pretty crazy.
And you know what? That is pretty bold of you to do. Not everyone would have their, backside. I applaud you.
Thank you.
You just hit number 1 on Amazon new releases. So this is amazing. And we are so excited for you. So I do have a few questions for you that we want to get into. And I know a lot of people want to know the answers to these questions. So let's go ahead and start here. Why did you write the book?
Love that question. It's so funny because I've always wanted to write a book. Anybody that knows me probably knows that I've always been a writer. And I write like I talk. So people say when they read something that I write, it's like sitting in the room with me. So I think this book, you'll find that it feels like I'm sitting right on the couch with you. I wrote it because for me, midlife, I'm 50, I'm beyond midlife, although I could live to 100. Women at times get stuck and they are afraid of certain things. They're not creating their own highlight reel in their mind, and they're not remembering all these fantastic things that they've done along, their journey, and they get to a point where maybe their kids are older, or they've lost their parents, or they're caring for their parents, or their relationships are changing. And, I needed to open the dialogue about it. I'd be sitting around with some of my friends that are on today, and we'd be chatting about, the same types of things we're all going through. And Chrissy, I know you're younger, but you're going to get there. So I want this on your shelf, like what to expect when you're expecting, what to expect at teens, toddlers, all those things. And we all go through these things as women. It's just something we share, a lot of things. So I wanted to open the dialogue about it. And I wanted to put myself out there and show that you can be vulnerable. And you know what? It's about taking risks. It's about taking chances. And if you feel passionate about it, you should do it. And so that's why I wrote the book. I felt passionate that I could inspire women to take action in any part of their life, at any circumstance, or any story that they're navigating right now.
So, Amy, why do you think some women get stuck at midlife?
I know it's a good question. And, I think it's because roles shift. Things change. I put in the book, one of the chapters I write about the fact, calling out my husband here, who I love dearly, who will be on. But, I was getting the kids ready for school, 3 of them I have, and I was getting their lunches ready and doing all the stuff you do. And my husband yelled, "Hey, Mom, would you grab the dry cleaning at the end of the day, before you pick up the kids?" And it was one of those moments where I said, "Mom, yeah, I am a mom. I'm a wife. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm all those things. But really, I'm Amy." And at that moment, it was like, wow, where did I go? And I think that's why women tend to get stuck sometimes, is it's a roles shift. Your identity changes. You're needed differently. All of those things. And sometimes you feel like the best was in the rearview mirror, and it wasn't. Living and looking forward is what it's about.
I certainly agree with you. You can reinvent yourself no matter what point in life you are in. There's always time to reinvent yourself. It's just that you can do all things, but it's just about timing. You may not necessarily be able to do it all at once.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
But timing it out throughout the course of your life, and life can be long. So, you have plenty of time. And
exactly.
So how can women overcome that feeling of not starting something because they're afraid people will judge them?
The old judge thing. Think back to middle school. I mean, I honestly wanted glasses, braces, and a cast. I wanted it all in 7th grade, the trifecta, because, and then when I got it, I was like, oh man, now everybody's looking at me because I have braces, and women are always judging. Let's be honest. One of the parts I write about in the book is when I decided to do this Couch to 5K. Shout out to Tara Axler and Kim Jarbo out there who know this story well. And it took every ounce of courage for me to walk into the running store. Shout out to Megan Searfus at Ridgefield Running, because she puts together this great Run Like a Mother. And I had to go into this group of women I signed up for. I was committed to running this 5K. And the minute I walked in to the room with all these women, I was looking at the 6'2" woman and the woman that was wearing this and that. And I'm already counting myself out, thinking, I just can't even, why am I here? Why am I doing this? And, we have to get past that. We profile women, we do it. We have to be honest, we do it. But we have to just have, the courage to go forward, to realize that, what, we're doing the best we can, and create that highlight reel for ourselves and realize that, hey, I might only be 5'4". I might not be a runner. And I was the slowest when I started that group, and I was the slowest when I ended, but I did it. You get past it, you get past the fear, and you go all in.
And really getting past that fear, it may, just the thoughts of the fear isn't as bad as actually doing it.
Exactly. So, yeah.
So I hear that you are doing book clubs virtually. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I'm doing a couple different things. And on my website, you can find it. We can put the link, I think, to the website up there, fearlesslyfacing50.com. I'm going to do a series of roundtables, which is really digging into different chapters of the book and really talking about things that are top of mind topics at midlife, because we all go through them. Everything from health changes, menopause, putting it out there. We all go through it. It's like puberty. maybe caring for aging parents, or, relationship changes. We're going to be digging into that. And then I have a shout out to Brigitte and Joelle. They're going to be helping me coordinate some book clubs virtually so that you can have your book, and we're going to go through it like a workbook. At the end of each chapter, there are reflections that you can kind of self-reflect and sit back and say, okay, how can I apply this to my life so that I can feel confident going forward and taking this risk and being fearless and having your cannonball moments. It's not just one moment, it's moments. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. So check out the website. There'll be signups there, and I'm really excited to get those started.
So with the book clubs virtually, how can women get involved in that? And as far as like writing a review for it, because we all know how important that is.
Oh man. And those are my asks. Today I had to, I got a couple of emails from people, and I had to say, you know what, once you get the book and you read the book, one being my sister Ellen, she said, oh, I'm going to write a review. If you can take time to do that, it's really important. You know how you review products from Amazon when you get them, or you review from Barnes & Noble or whatever. If you order your book on Amazon and you read it and you're finding value in it, shoot me a review. I would really appreciate it. And that's just as simple as going on Amazon and going to the review part and reviewing it after you read it. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. So thanks.
Okay, review, everyone. You're watching right now. We've got a lot of people on right now. So make sure you take just a little bit of time to do a review after reading the book. And also, let's talk about your podcast, Fearlessly Facing 50. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my God. So that's been awesome. And shout out to anybody that's on right now that's been a guest or has submitted a story to be a guest. It's just been amazing. Part of my story is 6 months before I turned 50. Oh, hi, Margaret. I started my podcast, and actually Margaret was sitting around with me at one of the first meetings where it was like kind of a brainstorming session. And she was like, are you going to do this? And I said, yeah, I'm going to do it. And so I put an ad in the local Facebook group, shout out to the Ridgefield Facebook group, and said, hey, does anybody know anything about a podcast? And I got this great kid to come over. He called me Mrs. Schmidt. I had to stop that and say, call me Amy. I'm not that old. And he sat down and he taught me how to, he put things in my Amazon cart, and he said, okay, we're going to start here. Got me all set up on this podcast. And I figured out how to do it. It's part of the book, ladies. If you haven't gotten it yet, it's about lifetime learning. It's about just putting yourself out there and learning something new. I'm not the most tech savvy person. I know Kristen Jensen, if she's watching, she's going to be mad at me with my headphones because she thinks I look like a dork. But it's good for me. I can hear better. Anyway, it's just the podcast is something I do weekly. It drops on Friday. I interview all sorts of different people. I've had celebrities on, which have been so fantastic. They share their journeys and their insight. I've had wonderful, inspiring stories from women that have been brave and shared their voice and said, hey, this is what I'm doing, and this is how I got there, and this is how I'm going forward. And then I have experts on that talk about topics that are all relevant to midlife. It's fantastic. I love it. I learn something every time I drop a podcast. And you know what? I'm a work in progress. So I go back and listen to the first one I dropped in October when I just pushed, record and sat back and was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. And I listen to them now, 48, 49 episodes in. It's just amazing. And I encourage women to check it out. It's on Apple. It's anywhere. It's Fearlessly Facing 50. You also can apply to be a guest on my website. I love for women to share their stories. And because we've all got one. We've all got a story to share. So that's what it's about. Thanks for asking about that.
And I want to bring up again, if you're watching, if you're just tuning in right now, make sure you go to Amazon and purchase Cannonball, Fearlessly Facing Midlife and Beyond. It is #1 seller today. Woohoo! On Amazon. And so we want to bring in this celebration with all your friends and family who are supporting you. So we are having a party. And super excited to have you all in here. And there's way more people on this as well. So we'll make sure we're bringing in everyone in. But we want to first start off with Tim.
Why did I know that was going to happen?
Hi, Tim.
Hi.
So we've got a couple questions for you, Tim. So tell me a little bit about Amy. You've been married for 27 years. Did you ever think she'd write a book?
Yes. Yep, I definitely did. She's been a writer of her whole adult life, I would say. And she's super passionate about getting a message out. And I think it just took her a time to kind of figure out what she was most passionate about and how to do it. But yeah, I definitely thought she would. I suspect it's not her last.
We hope so, especially since she is #1 today for her book launch. So why do you think Amy felt that this was the time to launch a podcast and publish a book?
Well, I think, she spent a lot of years with kids growing up and supporting our family and really doing the things that moms do to sacrifice their kind of own, focus at times. And she did that for a long time. And I think the needs changed and the time became available a little bit more. But she and I talked about it too. It's about prioritizing herself as well and trying to zero in on passions. And I think, we talked about that, and she dabbled in swim coaching, which she's very passionate about as well, which I thought too was an amazing opportunity for her. And so I think she kind of took a little bit of time, but she found the spot that was the best spot for her.
Do you see the comment from Dan? He says, Tim is
Dan,
a rock star too. Power couple. And so any fun stories you can share about Amy? You guys have quite the journey.
We have fun stories about Amy. She is, I just would say she's an amazing person in the sense that her ability to adapt and to thrive in the midst of change is a really special characteristic that I've always appreciated about her and love that about her. And I don't think that's easy. I don't think it comes easy. I think it's something that she's, really done to support kind of the things we were all trying to do. And I love the story that she tells often, and it's in the book about forgetting to push record on her first podcast, and the fact that that's just part of the learning journey, and that's how she is, and so you just keep going, and that's one of the things I love about her.
Forgetting to push recording.
Well, it happens.
I'm guessing that's important in a podcast.
Yeah, you would think. I really thought it was great too. I think it was my best one.
Anything you want to say to Tim?
Oh, just, what I have not allowed him to read the acknowledgments and dedication yet. We're saving that to when we're together. We happen to be apart today. But Tim has been an incredible support for me, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm very lucky. Not everybody has that, and I realize that. And I did kind of take on the old traveling spouse for a lot of years. Paula's on here, I see right now, and she knows me back 20 some years. We moved a lot, but we always encouraged each other. And I think these last, 6 months, 8 months, whatever it's been, Tim has just been an incredible support for me. He listens. He tells me just to stop. He cuts me off and says, all right, enough. And that's what I need. And so it's
okay. That's enough.
Yeah. See? So true. Touche. No, I love him to death, and I thank him for all the support. It's been amazing. You've cooked a lot of dinners, and man, I only thought it was frozen pizza and hot dogs.
I got better.
Mac and cheese. Sure. The kids don't even like mine anymore. So
anybody can learn.
Anybody can learn. Yeah.
And also here with us today, we've got Dave, your brother. Hey, Dave.
Hey, Chrissy. Hey, Amy.
Hello. Oh, boy.
Hello, Dave. Hello. So, Dave, we know family is important, right? To Amy, it's very important. And she mentions in the acknowledgments how important you've been on her journey. Can you tell us a little bit about your family? I know there's probably a lot of you. And why do you think Amy was inspired to write this book now?
That's a great question, Chrissy. And I'm grateful for our family. It takes all of us, and we all bring different traits and characteristics. And Amy, being the last of our choo-choo train, 10 years younger than me. I was the youngest, Amy, and I'm still upset.
I know, shoot.
But, our parents were wonderful role models. Dad was the consummate gentleman and an incredible on-the-spot speaker. Where does Amy get her podcast skill? From my father.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mom was probably the most purposeful writer. And she had beautiful penmanship. We lost her 5 years ago, but she would write these messages in longhand that were just heartfelt. And that's where Amy gets her writing skill. But each of the other 4 of us in the family are a unit. And Laura, the oldest, she's our storyteller. I mean, she embellishes everything she says, but she's a storyteller. Ellen, the creator. Give her a pile of dirt and she will create an incredible art piece. And she's not an artist, she's just a creator. Bob, extremely choiceful in his words, extremely articulate. Amy gets that from him, and me, I'm the Imagineer. I'm the one with the big ideas.
Yeah.
So I liken Amy's attributes, and Tim, you said it well. She's bold, but not reckless. She's committed and determined and not one to give up. And I admire the living daylights out of you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that goes right back at you, because I'll tell you, Dave has taken more phone calls, written more letters. I mean, I remember a letter I got when I went off to college from Dave that I still have, that he's a wonderful writer and speaker. And you know what? I think that is gifts that Mom and Dad have given all of us. But Dave, you've encouraged me in ways. You're in the book many times, and you've just always been there. And I couldn't have done it without you. You know, it takes a village for sure, but I couldn't have done it. Those 6 a.m. phone calls to Milwaukee. And you always pick up the phone. You always pick up the phone. It's amazing.
So, Dave, it seems like you are a writer and public speaker yourself. Does it run in the family?
Well, I think we're all expressive in our own ways. I've got the fortunate opportunity in my career to go out and do a lot of public speaking. I do some writing for various magazines and social forums like Forbes. And it's been a pleasure to put words down on paper. However, you know, each one of us have stories to tell. And my writing style is not Amy's style. Amy's the most authentic, genuine. You know, when you read the pages of the book, Paula knows this because she's known her all of her adult life.
Yeah.
You read the pages. If you know Amy and you read a page, you know Amy. My writing, you know, I write a little bit differently than Amy does. I speak a little bit differently than she does. But each of us have a certain gift. And I'm fortunate that God gifted me with something. The ability to stand up and talk to groups is something I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Amy, I like how he just nonchalantly says Forbes. Oh,
I know.
Forbes.
I know. Yeah, he's a rock star. He is a rock star. Yep, very proud of him.
Yeah. So,
well, you know, I thought about Amy, the times, those 6 a.m. calls and those 4 a.m. 5 a.m. my time. And I was trying to think about, you know, what was it that I was trying to inspire you to do? And you know how I am with acronyms. So I thought about this and thought of the ABCs. So A, I encouraged your attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give up. Never give up. Keep a positive attitude. Even when it's raining outside like it is here in Milwaukee today, it's okay. There's sunshine going to follow. So keep a good attitude. Second, be yourself. There's nobody better that you can be than yourself. And the C stands for commitment. And the commitment is to keep moving, to not get stuck. Your book is about not getting stuck, so you couldn't get stuck. And I love what you and I both share, and I know that others on the call share it. I can tell already, having never met most of these women, with the exception of Paula. That's too bad, Paula, for you. But the cool thing is that we are lifelong learners, and we listen and we learn. I encourage that in my children. I tell them that there's something to be learned from everybody they encounter, and that they can use that as a fabric in the tapestry that they're building for themselves, that they're knitting for themselves. It is that thread. And as you've listened and learned, that's what kept you moving. So I think it's the ABCs: attitude, be yourself, and commit.
Love it. That's awesome. I'm putting that in my
Maybe
office.
that's my next book.
It might be. I think so. I love it.
So really, I mean, speaking of the wee hours of the morning and those phone calls, it really seems like you are truly the sounding board for your sister. Big brother, words of wisdom. What feedback did you have for her? Should I have asked that question?
No, I got a lot of notes back from him on the. They were
I
awesome.
mean, I think there were notes, Amy. There were notes about, don't continue to learn from, weave other people's stories in. I think that was one of the things I encouraged you to do, and you did it so seamlessly in the book because you haven't lived through some of this.
Right.
You lived through the loss of our parents, but thank goodness you've been married to Tim for 27 years, and yet you address divorce in the book. Right. And I think it's wonderful that you're able to tap into all of these experts and these friends that you've had. And I know I encouraged you to do that. And I also encouraged you not to strive for perfection. We can reach as far as we want and deliver excellence. And I believe that's what you've done in your book. Someone else might read it and say, wow, it looks like you should have used the word although instead of but.
Yeah,
probably. At the end of the day, it's their but. It's not yours.
Right, that's true.
On the cover it is.
I mean, yeah.
The cover it is my butt, but yeah, I agree. I love it.
It's my improv comedy coming through as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, certainly insightful. And we also have Cheryl, who is here. And Cheryl, thank you so much for joining in on the party. She is your publisher.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so, Cheryl, Amy has said you were so patient and understanding.
Yeah. Check. Yeah, she's been on an emotional roller coaster with me. Let's just call it middle age.
What was it really like working with Amy?
Well, first of all, I can't tell that because, as I have this little pillow that says, the thing about being best friends and we can't tell each other secrets. So we can't tell that now because Amy has become a BFF, which is one of the things I love about her. And I loved about her book instantly when I read it, and everyone is, I know you're all going to say, but is because she is really puts herself out there, and she is so honest, and she was so willing to tell her story. That was the thing that really impressed me. But first, I want to give you a big little toast here.
Thank you.
I wish we were doing this in person.
Me too.
I'm so excited, and I'm so thrilled that the book hit Amazon's #1 list today, which is
I can't believe
exciting.
It. I know.
You've been through such a journey of not only writing the book, but then going through all the other things that go along with writing a book, and now getting to the exciting part about having it out there in the world. And you really have Cannonball, because to put yourself out there, to write the book, and then to actually want to release it to the world. And you definitely cannonballed off this clip. And I just want to say something about this cover, because we were talking about Amy kind of being bold and brave, and everyone knows who's ever done a book how important the cover is. And Amy and I were kicking around different ideas and different concepts, and then she was on vacation celebrating her birthday, and she sent me these pictures. I'm like, Amy, that's your cover. And I thought, she's not going to be, I wonder what she's going to say, because that's pretty gutsy to say, I'm going to and she said, yes, let's do it. And I'm so glad you did, because just the cover alone says so much to other women who need to be fearless too. So I love you. I am so honored to have published your book. It's going to be a huge success, and everyone needs to go out and buy it today.
Thank you, Cheryl. Couldn't have done it without you. Amazing. Amazing.
Cheers, and we'll do something live in New York City.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers to all of you.
Thank you, Cheryl. I know you've got to get going, so we certainly appreciate you hanging on for us. So that was definitely a great toast.
Thanks so much.
All righty. Well, And we did have a comment about the cover that says, "What a cool story about the cover."
I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Kim was there actually. Yep. Yep. It was something.
I think I'm like here.
I think she is. I think she is. She's probably saying, "Don't do it. Are you stupid, Amy? Don't do it." No, it was, yeah. And Tim took the picture.
Very cool. And we've got Laura here now. And Laura, thank you so much for joining us with the book launch party. You are her friend in Florida, which is where I'm at. Where are you from in Florida?
I'm in Sarasota. Where are you?
I'm in Tallahassee.
Okay. My son's going to Tallahassee this fall.
Woo, go Ben.
FSU?
Yes.
Seminoles.
Go Seminoles.
So, Laura, it seems that you are in a story in the book about the power of friendships.
And I haven't read it yet.
She hasn't. She hasn't. Yeah, she was like, what did she write about? Give me a hint.
So I will. I'll give you a hint. It talks about a trip to Germany to visit Amy. And it sounds like you two had some adventures. Can you share any of those funny stories?
We definitely did. I'm so happy to be here to celebrate Amy like I was then for her 40th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I got, I'm sitting at my computer one day and got a message from Tim saying, you know, it's been a big move to Germany. How do you feel about coming out to Germany and helping Amy celebrate her 40th birthday? And I thought for a minute, I was like, well, why wouldn't I do that? And I was just so impressed. Number one, that Tim thought to do that for her. But Amy had just, you know, she said she was struggling moving to a foreign country, putting 3 kids in school. Of course, Tim had a big job that he had to be at every day. There was Amy driving her little car around Germany on the Autobahn, parking in these spaces that were like this big. Mm-hmm. And the whole time we were looking for the Schloss. We wanted to go to the castle.
We wanted to go to the castle. Yes, yes, we did. We were sipping rosé and we were looking at our watches and like Laura's like, oh, we've got to get to the castle. It's going to close quickly. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is not real life.
Right.
Really,
it really looked like a fairy tale. Yes.
Yes. But we made it. We made it.
We made it. And Amy just, you know, she had a friend there, but she had already made other friends already. And I think that's the thing about Amy. She just brings people together.
Thank you. Thank you.
Even on live stream, right?
I know. I wish we were all together. I wanted to do like a big, we'll do it. We'll do a big party. I already saw Tara put that up. She's like, we have to do a big, you know, she's the party planner. She will be planning something. So Laura has been there for, oh my gosh, we've been through a lot of things. Babysitters. Oh boy, I can't even tell you. Yeah. But
the emergency room.
The emergency room.
Lots of things. Yeah.
But it is about women finding friends that really encourage you. And I write about that in the book. It's so important to look at your friends as your financial portfolio. You know, I mean, you want to invest in it. You can't have people that are constantly withdrawing, and you may not see them all the time. I remember getting a card. One of the first cards I got when I moved to Germany was from Laura, and it said, friends are like stars. You might not always see them, but you know they're always there. And that actually makes me cry because I still have it, and it's in my office. And it was the first card I got. Didn't even know how to use the post office in Germany because I don't even think we had it was all so new. And I'll never forget that. And, you know, we have not lived in the same state now for many, many years. And it doesn't matter because you can pick up the phone and say, can you meet me? And she will say, yes. And that is not something that happens often. You know, you have a special friend when you have somebody like that.
Very lucky. Very lucky to have you, Miss Amy. So proud of you.
Thank you.
Amy. Well, Laura, what do you think about Amy writing this book? Did you ever think she'd do it and then that you'd be in it? And what's that feel like?
I don't think that I thought I'd be in it, but I knew she could do it. I mean, like Paula, knowing Amy for so many years, like you know something about Amy that she's a writer and she can put things into words. And it's just like what she said. It's like you're right there talking to her. Like, I think that's why it's so easy. we can go for 6 months without talking, but then we're just right there, like it never left off, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So true.
Yeah. And I know Amy was hoping this would be a big launch, huge launch party, and she'll be able to hug and high five everyone when it happens. Are you up for hosting something in Florida at some point?
I'd love to. We
We're all
love to
going.
see each other in Florida. It's all
Yes,
good.
Exactly. Fantastic.
Thank you, Laura. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, you definitely want to visit Florida. Come on.
Cheers.
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 And then we also have Paula here. Hey, Paula.
Hi.
And you're Amy's friend from Rhode Island. So you guys have been friends for over 20 years. Tell me about that. And does it include moves to the same states at times?
Everything. It begins when
That's crazy.
years ago when we met at a volunteer meeting and we had little kids and we were pregnant together and she moved to the East Coast and we moved to the East Coast and I mean, we've moved 5 times and I've always been within a couple hours of you. And now I'm 2.5 hours when you're in your base home.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And so just all of those moves, we have just stayed together and
So funny.
for so long.
I remember pulling into Paula's driveway in Naperville, Illinois, taking it back to like 1999, right? Or did I even have Noah yet? I know. I think it was 98.
Brendan. So Brendan was February of 98. So 98.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
And I had to, we were on a committee together and actually Paula was heading up the committee, I think, and probably something to do with finances because she's really good at managing all of those details, which I'm horrible at. And I think I signed up to do something and I had to go over to her house and I didn't know anybody. And I remember pulling in your driveway, I had to drop off wrapping paper or something goofy. And I got all nervous. I got all those feels of being nervous, like, oh man, I got to make new friends. I don't even know. This girl's really cool. Like she's heading up a committee. Like I don't even know what I'm going to do. And I remember going there and we have been through like everything. I mean, I write about it in the book. We've been through a tremendous amount of things together. And I can't tell you, I think we talk every day pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, there's very rare occasions where we miss
communication every day. Definitely.
There's communication every day. We're both huge communicators, and Paula can just I don't know, read me in a way that a lot of people can't, and I think it's awesome. So she's
awesome. Amy's the best.
No,
Shout out to Andrew. He's the second coolest guy I know.
Well, there you go.
right. I should really put that in the.
And Dave's not far behind, Laura. Don't worry.
So you're a big part of her life. So you know a lot about Amy. Give us a little glimpse into what Amy's like.
Oh, she's just the best. She's a listener. She makes you think. There's just so many stories. And probably the best story is that she's the friend that you go away on a trip or wherever you're gone without her, which didn't happen a lot, but we did go away separately. And she's the one that you would come back and she went into your house and put milk, orange juice, and bread into your kitchen. You had little kids and you were just coming home from a trip. You're like, wow, you don't have to go to the grocery store. She's that friend. Just a great friend. She's just, yeah.
Thank you.
So why would you encourage people to buy this book?
Because Amy makes you smile, and she does. I mean, so when you read it, you will read it, and she will make you think, and she will make you smile. And I think smiling is a big thing. And I think thinking and smiling are good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Those are good reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Paula. We also have Kim here. Hey, Kim.
Hi
Is it
there.
Kimberly or Kim?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. So Kim from Connecticut. You were one of 6 that got a sneak peek into the book. What was that like?
Well, it was a little scary at first. I was a little nervous, but I was honored. I think it just made kind of sense. We had been talking about it, you know, as opposed to our other friends, we're in the same stage of life here with our kids, and we live in the same area. So we're together a lot chatting, and we're really honest with one another. We
That's
throw
very
a
true.
lot of things at each other. So her giving me the book was just like one more, hey, what do you think? And I was thrilled to read it. I was thrilled.
And she reads all the time. I mean, this was going to be a tough critic. Believe me, it was going to be a tough. I knew that going in, and it is so true when you say that about being honest. I mean, we just challenge each other, and it's so great because she knows when I'm having a bad day, and I know when she's having a bad day, and it's just it's really cool stuff. I'm very, very grateful to have incredible people in my life, incredible friends.
And Kim, you were with Amy DeRing in her 50th, and you
Oh, yeah.
are at that time of life where your kids are older and things change. Did you find this book encouraging? And what insight would you give someone that will purchase it? And then also, what was the favorite part of your books? I know it's like a three-pronged question, but so did you find this book encouraging?
Well, of course, because as most people said here tonight, it's as if Amy's talking to you. So Amy is an encourager. So whether we're having a drink or a cup of coffee, I know I'm going to come away from the conversation better, feeling better about a circumstance, a situation we're going through. So you read this book as if she's your friend. And there are just so many, you know, nod your head moments like, oh, I've been there. Oh, look, this is what, you know, oh, this is what she says to do. And you just feel better.
Very cool. Very cool. And so what insight would you give someone that will purchase it?
I would say hurry up and purchase it before it gets sold out.
It's number one.
I mean, it's just such a good book for women at our stage of life who need some encouragement, who need a push, who want to feel like they have somebody on their side, in their corner. And I think I put in my Instagram, like, it's for anyone ready to start a new adventure. Like, just go for it. Go get that book, and then you'll want to go for it.
So what was your favorite part of the book?
The whole book is awesome. I mean, I have to say, this is bold and fabulous, and I was right here when she was taking this picture, and I'm just so proud of her. I'm just so proud of you. I just, you know, some people say they're going to do something, but you did it. You did it. I'm holding it. And I just think it's so cool. And I think that women are going to feel so much better after reading it.
Thank you.
Comment here from Tara. Kim is inspiring in her own right. She took a new leap recently and is crushing it too. So many great role models surrounding Amy.
Yes. Cheers. So true.
Yeah.
Cheers. So while we're cheersing, any funny stories about Amy?
Well, there's lots of funny stories about Amy, but my favorite story about Amy is how we actually became friends. And it's not that funny, but it means a lot to me. We've only been friends like 4 years, but 4 or 5 years? Yeah. 5 years? Yeah. But yes. Sorry, 5. But it feels like she's been by my side forever. And we were volunteering, which seems to be, you know, par for the course with Amy. And I went into this meeting and she was there and we started chatting and I thought, oh, she's so cool. But me being an introvert, well, Amy calls me an extroverted introvert. I went home, I told my husband I met this great person and that was it, done. Like, okay, she was great, so what? And the next day she texted me and asked me to coffee. And you would have thought I had won $1 million. And I said, oh my gosh, she wants to be my friend. She wants to have coffee with me. And from that moment, we've we've been close ever since. And I thank her all the time for taking that leap, because I would have just been like one of those people she knew and seen her around, and I would have missed out on a lot.
Me too. It's amazing.
Well, thank you so much for that, Kim. And then we also have Brigitte. Brigitte, right? I just want to make sure. She set us up on the social media, and you actually handled that and public relations for Amy. So, Brigitte, when you first met Amy and she talked about her podcast and her book she was writing, what did you think?
I thought it was such a great idea. There are so many women who are in that group that are wondering, where do I go next? What do I do? What are some of the options that I have? And I just loved the story. And what I was really impressed with was such a hard worker that Amy was. Amy really put her heart and soul into the book, into the podcast, into new ideas. She's an extremely hard worker, and I'm so proud of you, Amy, for number one on the bestseller list.
Thank you.
Worked so hard to get there, and what an amazing feeling. And Amy and I speak often.
Yeah.
A few times a day sometimes.
I know.
And we love it, and we're catching up, and we bounce new ideas off of each other on what might be some great PR options for her, some social media stuff. But really what I was impressed with was what the idea was, and your drive, Amy. That's what really made me say, I think I might want to work with her. So proud of you.
Thank you.
Everything that you've done. I really.
Thank you. Couldn't do it without you. Couldn't do it without you, Brigitte.
Good for you. Yeah, exactly.
I think I heard a balloon.
Lily of water. I forgot mine.
I know. I think I heard a balloon pop. Yeah, look at all the festive things behind Brigitte. I love it. And she's walked me off, many a phone call or many a moment when I'm like, and she just tells me to take a walk. Simple as that. Amy, go take a walk. And then I come back and it's all good. It's amazing. You have amazing gifts, Brigitte. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And I feel the same about you, Amy. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. Heartfelt.
Thank you. I know. I wish we were all together.
I know.
It's killing me. It's killing me.
So, Rita, why should people buy this book, and what does it have to offer?
Well, one of the things that I'm most impressed about is how there's action steps at the end of the chapters. So it'll tell the story in a way that women or people will understand. And then and we don't see this often. Maybe this might be a good idea or something for you to try or to do, or to maybe a different way of thinking a little bit. And that's where I find the helpful part of the book. And I highly recommend it. It's an excellent, they're so well written, so real. But there are actually action steps, and that's everything.
So were you concerned when the book had to launch virtually?
No, life has been a little nutty these last few months. So I think that, we've become much more accustomed to having a virtual party. And also, I think it's an opportunity to invite more people in. Because if we were to have it at a local venue, for example, then there would be a limited amount of people that would be able to join. And here we were all able to invite our friends and family, and we were her fans and former guests on her podcasts. And so I think we have a lot of opportunity, and I frankly don't see that changing too much in the future. I think it's a good thing. So keep live streaming.
Yeah, exactly. I'm being brave about this, and all the ladies on here, because live streaming is the new thing. Chrissy, thanks for doing this, because it's amazing. And it was kind of cool to send a little message out to the guests on the podcast today, because I kept telling them, I'm writing this book. And then, it was like, wow, you did. And they want to read it. And a few of them, a shout out to Julie Moran. If she's on today, she said she might pop in for a minute. She was the first female broadcaster on Wide World of Sports, Entertainment Tonight. She has her own podcast called Empower Midlife, and she has just been a huge cheerleader for me, and read the book, gave me some great advanced praise, along with Zibby Owens, who has a fantastic podcast out there. I had her on my podcast, and she said, I want to read your book. So I'm just really thrilled. Lori Gelman, a big shout out to her too, who did advanced praise reading for me, and she's an author herself. And so those things just, they mean the world. And a couple of people today said, Amy, you gotta you just gotta put yourself out there. I know people on social media are like, oh man, they're getting cannonballed like crazy today. But you know what, you gotta do it. And I have to practice what I preach, and you gotta be bold and just go for it. You know, if not now, when, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly. Well, I believe everybody that is on this live stream right now, a big congratulations to Amy.
Thank you to everybody that's on and here. And where are my kids? Oh, they're over there. Two of my kids. They are they're both working. They're here with me. My husband's in Connecticut with my other son, and they'll be up here soon. But just thank you to everybody for supporting this. And I really encourage you to buy the book. I think Chrissy's put the link in there. Check it out. Let me know. Write a review. Those are all really important parts of feedback that I love. And it's just and shoot me an email. You know, it's Amy@fearlesslyfacing50.com. It's pretty easy to reach me, and send me a message if you want to be on the podcast, if you want to engage in conversation, share your story, give me feedback on the book. If you want to learn how to podcast, I'm doing a podcast workshop. That's a little shout out too. I love to get people confident behind the mic, people to share their voice. And of course, we're going to be doing roundtables and virtual book clubs that everybody can get their friends involved, and we can have conversations. And it's like this, which is so amazing because, it doesn't have to be live to everybody, but it can be it's really cool. And it's that power of connection and community, which is so important. So thank you to everybody for making time today to check this out. It's just amazing.
I want to get a question to you. We've got Tara, who is the author willing to sign our copy?
Yes, absolutely. I know. I was so wanting to do that in person, and I will. Yes. So if you get your copy, I will find a way. Brigitte, we'll work that out somehow, right? We'll get, you get your copies, and I will get them signed and back to you. So it would be absolutely fabulous. And Amy Taylor, how sweet.
Yes, a comment that says, I'd love to book club with you.
Yes, awesome. That would be fantastic. And that's what we're going to do. So if you have a current book club that's going on, check out you can get this book for your book club, and we'll talk about it. And we're really going to get into those deep conversations about it and peel back the layers to find your confidence and to share your story. So please reach out to me with that, because I'm really, hi Elise. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to get started. This is just the beginning, man. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So I'm in it.
Well, we've got a lot of people watching and sending their well wishes. Is there anything else you want to say to people watching right now? One final thought?
I want women that buy this book to sit back and close their eyes and just reflect on everything that they've accomplished and create their highlight reel. I think there's so many times as women that we just forget to do that. And I think that's so important, no matter where you are in your journey, no matter what your circumstance or story. I want everybody to walk away with greatness statements, because we all have them, and share them with me. I want to hear them. I just think it's fabulous. So really, that's really it. I just want everybody to live their best life. And I'll tell you, if you're 40, 50, 60, doesn't matter. There's a lot of life left, and how fun. And we're just getting started. We haven't peaked yet. That's what I always say.
Amy's asking, just go to Amazon to purchase. Yes, Amy, yes. It's #1 on Amazon today. Very, very cool. Well, we want to say thank you to everyone for tuning in to this book launch party. We really
I know. What a party. I tell you, it's crazy, but so much fun. So much fun. And all around the country and all around the world. It's just insane.
And so much more to come.
Yes.
So make sure you purchase the book on Amazon and check out fearlesslyfacing50.com for podcast and also more content. And we want to say thank you to everyone for watching and have a wonderful evening.
Cheers, Amy.
Get
Cheers.
it now. Woohoo! Yes. Make sure you get the book because you never know. It could sell out. It is number 1 right
Exactly.
now.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Everyone
friend.
have a great day.
Thank you.